Afcon. 18 days to the African Cup of Nations. Today is December 3. So it's 18 days to the commencement, and then what a tournament is going to be. Cup of Nations, they won the last edition when they defeated the Super Eagles of Nigeria in the final match. So they are the defending champions. And then we look forward to another interesting and thrilling African Cup of Nations that will commence this year on December 21. As I said, it's 18 days to the African Cup of Nations. Today I'll be taking a look at Group C, a preview of Group C. And Group C has countries like Nigeria, Tunisia, Uganda, and Tanzania. Tunisia, Uganda, and Tanzania. So viewers, of these four countries, which country do you think will come first in this group? Which country do you think will top the group? Of course, the top two best third place out of the four countries. I'm talking about Group C now. Is it Nigeria? Is it Tunisia? Is it Nigeria? For Nigeria, they are nicknamed the Super Eagles. They qualified for the 2025 African Cup of Nations by finishing first for Group D with 11 points in the qualifying series. This is their 21st appearance at the African Cup of Nations, and Nigeria have won the African Cup of Nations 3 times. They won it in 1980, 1994, and 2013, and they are ranked 38 in the world. The head coach of Nigeria is Eric Chell, and Nigeria have players like Victor Osimhen, who plays as a striker for Super League club Galatasaray in Turkey, and there is also Calvin Bassey, who plays as a defender for Premier League club Fulham. Of course, the Super Eagles team is a star-studded team. I only picked 2 players from each country, but then the Super Eagles team is a star-studded team. Apart from Calvin Bassey, we also have Ademola Lookman, we have our captain Truth Ekong, we have Samuel Chukwueze, we have Alex Iwobi, and we have other fantastic players in the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Now, looking at the matches the Super Eagles of Nigeria played in the qualifying series, because in the qualifying series for the Afcon, each team played 6 matches. So here are the matches the Super Eagles of Nigeria played in the qualifying series. In our first match, I'm in Nigeria, so let me use the word in our first match. In our first match in the qualifying series, Nigeria defeated Benin 3-0. In the second match, the Super Eagles of Nigeria played a goalless draw with Rwanda. In the third match, the Super Eagles of Nigeria defeated Libya 1-0. And in our fourth match, the Super Eagles of Nigeria was given a 3-0 victory over Libya. The match did not actually hold. So because the match did not hold, and after a lot of investigation and everything, and the Super Eagles of Nigeria were awarded the maximum 3 points in the match, and they were also awarded a 3-0 victory in that match. So in our fourth match, the Super Eagles defeated Libya 3-0. In the fifth match, the Super Eagles of Nigeria played a 1-0 draw with Benin Republic, and in the sixth match, the Super Eagles of Nigeria lost to Rwanda by 2-1. That was Nigeria's last match in the qualifying series. Prior to that match against Rwanda that they lost 2-1, they had already qualified for the African Cup of Nations. So, but that was Nigeria's 6th match in the qualifying series, and they lost that match to Rwanda by 2-1. So those are the matches the Super Eagles of Nigeria played in the qualifying series. So in all, in the qualifying series, Nigeria scored 9 goals and conceded 3 goals in the qualifiers. So that is all about the Super Eagles of Nigeria. The second country in Group C is Tunisia. For Tunisia, they are nicknamed the Carthage Eagles or the Eagles of Carthage, and they qualified for the 2025 African Cup of Nations by finishing as runners-up from Group A with 10 points in the qualifying series. And this is Tunisia's at the African Cup of Nations. And Tunisia's best result, excuse me please, thank you. And Tunisia's best result at the African Cup of Nations was winning it in 2004. So Tunisia were champions of the Afcon in 2004. Talking about FIFA ranking, Tunisia are ranked 40 in the world. And the head coach of Tunisia is Sami Trabelsi, who is a former international defender. And Tunisia have players like Mohamed Ali Ben Ramadan, who plays as the midfielder for Egyptian Premier League club Al Ahly, and there's also Hannibal Mejbri, who plays as a midfielder for Premier League club Burnley. Talking about Mejbri, he used to be a Manchester United player, so he's an ex or is a former Manchester United player, but now he plays for the club Burnley. Now looking at the matches Tunisia played in the qualifying series. In the qualifying series, in Tunisia's first match, they defeated Madagascar 1-0. In their second match, they also defeated Gambia 2-1. In their third match, they lost to Comoros 1-0. In their fourth match, they played a 1-0 draw with Comoros. In their fifth match, they defeated Madagascar 3-2. And in their sixth match, they lost to Gambia 1-0. So in all, in the qualifying series, Tunisia scored a total of 7 goals and conceded 6 goals. So that is all about Tunisia. The third country in Group C is Tanzania. For Tanzania, they are nicknamed Taifa Stars, and they qualified for the 2025 African Cup of Nations by finishing as runners-up from Group H with 10 points in the qualifying series. This is Tanzania's fourth appearance at the African Cup of Nations, and Tanzania have never gone beyond the group stage. Yeah, they participated at the African Cup of Nations previously 3 times, but in the 3 previous participations, they've never gone beyond the group stage. They are ranked 112 in the world, and the head coach of Tanzania is Miguel Gamondi. I'm talking about Tanzania. They have players like Mbwana Samata, who plays as a striker for Legon Club Lo Havre, and there's also Faisal Salom, who plays as an attacking midfielder for Tanzania Premier League club Azam FC. Now, looking at the matches Tanzania played in the qualifying series, looking at the matches they played in the Afcon qualifying series, in their first match, they played a goalless draw with Ethiopia. In their second match, they defeated Guinea 2-1. In their third match, they lost to DR Congo 1-0. In their fourth match, they lost to DR Congo 2-0. That's in the reverse fixture. In their fifth match, they defeated Ethiopia 2-0. And in their sixth match, they defeated Guinea 1-0. So in all, in the qualifying series, a total of 5 goals, and they conceded 4 goals. So that is all about Tanzania in Group C. And the fourth group in Group C is Uganda. For Uganda, they are nicknamed the Cranes, and they qualified for the 2025 African Cup of Nations by finishing as runners-up from Group K with 13 points. And this is Uganda's 8th appearance at the African Cup of Nations, and their best result at the African Cup of Nations was finishing as runners-up in 1978. So in 1978, Uganda were runners-up in the African Cup of Nations, and that year it wasn't called the African Cup of Nations in 1978, but then it was also an African competition, and they finished as runners-up in 1978. Talking about FIFA rankings, Uganda are ranked 85th in the world. They are ranked 85th in the world, and the head coach of Uganda is Paul Put. And Uganda have players like Alan Okello, who plays for Vipers SC in Uganda, and there's also Khalid Ocho, who plays for the club Singida Black Stars in Tanzania. So that's all about Uganda. I'm looking at the matches Uganda played in the qualifying series. Looking at the matches Uganda played in the qualifying series. In their first match in the qualifying series, they played a 2-2 draw with South Africa. That's talking about Uganda. In their first match in the qualifying series, they played a 2-2 draw with Bafana of South Africa. In their second match, they defeated Congo 2-0. In their third match, they defeated South Sudan 1-0. In their fourth match, they defeated Bafana of South Africa 2-1. In their fourth match, they defeated South Sudan 2-1, not Bafana. In their fourth match, they defeated South Sudan 2-1. In their fifth match, they lost to Bafana of South Africa 2-0 in their fifth match. So in the fifth match, it was Uganda 0, South Africa 2. Then in their sixth match, they defeated Congo 1-0. So that's all the matches they played. These are the matches they played. And in all, in the qualifying series, Uganda scored 8 goals and they conceded 5 goals in the qualifiers. Once again, let me read out the matches Uganda played in the qualifying series. I said in their first match, they played a 2-2 draw with Bafana of South Africa. In their second match, they defeated Congo 2-0. In their third match, they defeated South Sudan 1-0. In their fourth match, they defeated South Sudan 2-1, that's in the reverse fixture. And in their fifth match, they lost to South Africa 2-0. In their sixth match, they defeated Congo 1-0. And in all, in the qualifiers, Uganda scored 8 goals and they conceded 5 goals. So that is all about Uganda. So this is the preview of Group C I've just done. I've just taken a look at all the groups. So I've just taken a look at all the countries in Group C. Once again, Group C has countries like Nigeria, Tunisia, Uganda, and Tanzania. So just go to the comment section and put down any team you think will top this group. I'm still talking about Group C, talking about the Super Eagles of Nigeria, because countries have been releasing or have been announcing their squads for Afcon. Yesterday, we saw Cameroon announcing their squad. We saw the indomitable Lions of Cameroon announcing their squad for the Afcon. We saw them announcing their squad. And yesterday, Eric Chell, the coach of the Super Eagles of Nigeria, also released his own preliminary squad. It's a 54-man squad. He's still going to prune it. He's still going to prune it or trim it down to 28. Perhaps this week or maybe next week, he's going to trim down the list from 54 to 28. But then yesterday, the coach, Eric Chell, released his 54-man provisional squad ahead of the Afcon, and a lot of talks have been going on as which players will actually make the final 28-man squad. You know, a lot of talks have been going on as to which player will eventually or who will eventually be in the 28-man squad of Eric Chell. But for the benefit of those who don't know the players, for the benefit of those who don't know the players already in the 54-man preliminary squad, I'm going to read out the players Eric Chell released yesterday. That's talking about his 54-man preliminary squad ahead of the Afcon, which will be trimmed down to 28 in the course of this week or maybe next week. Here are the players. For the goalkeepers, we have Stanley Nwabali. We also have Amas Obasoge. There's also Maduka Okoye. There's Adebayo Adeleye. There's Francis Uzor. And there's Ebenezer Akot. So among the goalkeepers, there's only one indigenous player, and that's Ebenezer Akot, who plays for Sporting Lagos. So there are 6 goalkeepers. For the defenders, we have William Ekong, that's the captain, William Chris Ekong. There's also Olaoluwa Aino. There's Calvin Bassi. There's Oluwasemilogo Ajayi. There's Bright Osayi Samuel. There's Bruno Onyemachi. There's Chidozie Awazin. There's Zaidu Sanusi. There's Igo Obu. There's Felix Agu. There's Ryan Alebioshu. He plays for Blackburn Rovers in England. And there's Adekunle Adeleke, who plays for Abia Warriors, and he also plays in the Nigerian League. That's talking about Adekunle Adeleke. So in all, we have 11 defenders. Then for the midfielders, we have Alex Iwobi, Frank Onyeka, Alexander Yusuf Abdullahi, Wilfred Ndidi, Raphael Onyedika, Christantos Uche, Tochukwu Unadi, Fisayodele Bashiru, Ebenezer Akinson Miro, Usman Mohammed, Peter Agba, and Tomdele Bashiru. Tomdele Bashiru is a brother to Fisayodele Bashiru. So the two of them have been included in the preliminary squad of the coach, Eric Chell. So in all, we have 12 midfielders. Then for the forwards, we have Ademola Lookman, there's Samuel Chukwueze, there's Victor Osimhen, Simon Moses, Chidera Ejuke, Tolu Arokodare, Ako Adams, Olakole Olusegun, Sadiq Umar, Kelechi Iheanacho, Taiwo Awoniyi, Victor Boniface, Paul Onuachu, Tere Murphy, Nathan Teller, Cyril Dessers, Abdulrasheed Shehu, who plays for Niger Tornadoes. So that's the Nigerian League. There's also Rafiu Durosimi. There's Ekesi Okore, who plays for Nasarawa United. It's also in Nigerian League. That's Ekesi Okere. There's Chizon Oji, who plays for Warri Wolves in Nigeria as well. There's Chukwu Buikem Ikwuemesi. There's Philip Otele. There's Salim Fagolawal. There's Emmanuel Michael. So in all, we have 24 attackers in the preliminary squad of the Super Eagles. In the preliminary squad of Eric Chell, we have 24 attackers. So these are all the players in the 54-man preliminary squad of Eric Chell. So, which players do you think will eventually make up the squad? You can also put that in the comment section as well. Which players are you rooting for? Which players do you think will make his final 28-man squad? That's talking about the Super Eagles of Nigeria, Eric Chell. which players, of these 28 players, which players do you think will make the final 28 man squad? Don't forget that the Super Eagles of Nigeria did not qualify for the World Cup. You know, for the second time in a row now, we are not going to be going to the World Cup. We are not going to be participating in the World Cup. But then we have the Nations Cup to really, the Super Eagles of Nigeria have the Nations Cup to make Nigerians happy, to put smiles on our faces. If they win it, they will make us happy and they will make up for not going to the World Cup. So they really have, they really have to make us happy, or they really have to amend for not going to the World Cup. So, so which players do you think will make the squad eventually? And as I said, winning the Nations Cup will make Nigerians happy. The last time the Super Eagles of Nigeria won the Nations Cup was 2013. That was 12 years ago. That was the last time they won it, 2013. Don't forget that the Super Eagles of Nigeria have won the Nations Cup 3 times. They won it in 1980.